Hi there, Sat Sri Akal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Myself Arpandeep. For today's video, I've chosen a very different kind of topic. If you like horror talks or stories, keep watching because I have something for you guys. In this video, I will be sharing 3 scary Reddit stories. I want to apologize in advance. Now, I'm not sure how long this video is going to be, but I will try my best to keep it short. I have picked these 3 stories out of the thousands of comments. I will for sure give you guys the Reddit username. Without making the intro very long, I will be starting with the first story. This story is submitted by user Separate Hunter 2447. It's been 31 days since we buried my father. 31 days since the rain soaked through my suit while they lowered his coffin into the ground. He was a surgeon, a man who saved lives with steady hands and a calm voice. And 2 men shot him in a parking garage. Then they were released due to lack of evidence. This phrase doesn't sit in my head. Every night, I think to myself, lack of evidence? As if my father's blood wasn't evidence enough. Grief does strange things to your mind. It convinces you that rules does not apply to you. That if love is strong enough, you can undo the impossible. That's how I found myself standing inside a house on the edge of town, across from a man people whispered about. He didn't ask why I was there. You want him back? He said quietly. It wasn't a question. He warned me once. If the door opens, you cannot control what walks through. I told him I don't care. In fact, I was lying. Digging your father's grave at midnight changes something inside you. The soil was still loose, the graveyards silent. When I opened the coffin, I almost stopped. Almost. But grief pushed me forward. I brought him home through the basement, lit the candles, drew the symbols exactly as instructed. When I began chanting, the air grew heavy. My ears rang. The temperature dropped so sharply I could see my breath. Then I heard it. Whispers, layered voices speaking my name. Daniel. The candles bent sideways as if blown by wind, but nothing was moving. I finished the ritual and nothing happened. He lay there, motionless. I felt foolish, delusional. Then my mother called me upstairs. I ran up to answer her. When I came back down, the slab was empty. The candles still burned, but my father's body was gone. 3 days later, the news broke. The 2 men who murdered my father were found dead. The reporters struggled to speak. Their body had cut open with surgical precision. Clean cut, exact, intentional. Authorities believe the suspect has medical training. My father had steady hands, surgeon's hands. That night, I slept for the first time since the funeral. I thought justice had been served. I was wrong. I came home late the next evening. The house was quiet, too quiet. Then I saw it, a thin line of dark blood stretching from kitchen down the hallway to my mother's bedroom. I was nervous. The smell hit me before I reached the door. Metallic, rotting, wrong. I pushed it open. She was on the bed. Still. Unnatural. The room looked like a procedure gone horribly wrong. Precise, organized, deliberate. I couldn't breathe. Then I heard his voice behind me. Daddy's home son. It sounded like him. But it felt like as if several voices were speaking through the same throat. I turned slowly. He stood in the doorway, skin pale, eyes too wide. You wanted me back? It said gently. We can be a family again. In his hand were surgical scissors. The metal reflected the hallway light. You started this operation, he whispered. Now we finish it. The lights flickered. For a moment, I saw something behind his eyes. Not my father, something older, just watching. I ran and locked myself in my room. That was yesterday. It's almost midnight now. He has been walking through the house all night. Slow footsteps, dragging slightly. Sometimes he laughs, sometimes he cries, but in my father's exact voice. Sometimes he stands outside my door and whispers, Daniel, open the door. The handle just moved again. Softly, testing it. He's patient. Whatever I brought back, it isn't him. And I think it's starting to realize that I know if this is the last thing I ever write, let it be a warning. Some doors are not meant to be opened. Some prayers are not meant to be answered. And when death takes someone, let them rest. Because if you try to bring them back, something else might answer instead. Rest in peace, Dad. I'm sorry. Okay, I am not even kidding. This story gave me full on haunted vibes. Every single line that I read, it felt like I was living in that house. And I'm the character Daniel. It felt like that. I hope you all are okay because this is the first story. I have two more. Time for the second story. This story is commented by username David Hello. I used to sleep with an eye mask. Not because I liked the dark, but because I didn't. There's a street lamp outside my apartment that flickers inconsistently. Not broken, not dying, just irregular. Like it's reacting to something. I convinced myself it was nothing. The mask helped. Thick black fabric, soft padding. When I pulled it down over my eyes, the world became controlled darkness. Predictable, safe. I've worn it for years. Until the first time something tested the safety. I woke up without moving. Not groggy, not confused. Aware. Completely aware. My body felt heavy. Not tired heavy, restrained heavy, as if gravity had increased only for me. I tried to shift my arm. Nothing happened. Sleep paralysis. I told myself I'd experienced it before. A minute, maybe two. Harmless. This felt different. The ceiling fan above me was turning, but its rhythm was wrong. One blade usually clicks. That night it didn't. Instead, there was a pause between rotations, like some sort of hesitation. My phone was playing ocean sounds beside my bed. Waves, winds, then the audio cut off. Mid-wave, silence. No one had touched it. Then the mattress tipped, slowly. Not like someone sitting down, more like weight being applied, gradually, carefully, testing how much the bed would accept without making noise. I tried to scream. My jaw didn't respond. The air beside my face grew warm. Not a draft, not my own breath. Something else. Close. Too close. I could smell it. Soap, clean skin, and beneath that, something metallic, faint, dry. A warmth hovered inches from my cheek. It wasn't touching me. It didn't need to. The mattress shifted again, this time near my legs. Pressure along my calves, my thighs, as if something had climbed onto the bed. Kneeling, the thought formed slowly and completely. It thinks I'm asleep. The fan stopped. It slowed and slowed until the final rotation stretched into silence. The room felt sealed, thick. Then I felt it. A single finger brushing my wrist. Light, curious, exploring. Every nerve in my body erupted, but I couldn't move. The finger traced slowly up my arm, paused at my elbow, continued to my shoulder, mapping me, learning the shape of me. I begged my body to react. Nothing. It leaned over me then. I felt the shift in the air pressure. The space above my chest grew heavier, denser. Something was hovering inches from my face. The warmth moved to my lips. Not touching, just close enough that I could feel its breath. It was patient. That's what terrified me the most. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't violent. It was studying. A sound formed near my ear. Not quite a whisper, not quite a breath. More like a voice trying to remember how to speak. Inside my mind, I was screaming. Outside, I was perfectly still. Then, it withdrew. Slowly, the weight lifted from the mattress. The warmth receded. The fan resumed its rotation. The wrapped blade clicked again. Normal. My body released me all at once. I tore the mask off and bolted upright. The room was empty. Door closed, nothing disturbed. I didn't sleep for the rest of the night. I threw the eye mask away the next morning. I told myself it was stress, a neurological glitch. For weeks, nothing happened. I kept the lights on when I slept. Last night, there was a storm. Power went out around midnight. The apartment went completely black. No street lamps, no fan, no hum of electricity. Just rain hitting the windows. I lay there, eyes open, adjusting to the dark. And then I heard it. A soft dragging sound in the hallway. Not footsteps, not quiet. More like fingertips grazing the wall. My bedroom door was slightly open. I don't remember leaving it that way. The sound stopped. The air in my room grew warmer, closer. My body locked again, instantly. This time there was no confusion. I knew exactly what was happening, and I knew it wasn't a dream. The darkness in the doorway looked wrong, thicker than the rest of the room. It didn't spill into the space, it held its shape. Then it leaned forward. Two faint points of light appeared in the gap of the doorway, low, steady, not reflecting, glowing eyes. They didn't blink. They didn't search. They were already fixed on me. My breathing stuttered. It took one slow step into the room. The mattress tipped at the edge of the bed. I felt the weight, and then something touched the edge of the pillow beside my head. Waiting. But this time I wasn't pretending. I knew I was awake. the warmth move towards my face again, closer than before. And just before it reached my lips, it whispered clear, right against my ear. You opened your eyes. The fan above me twitched again. Thought the power was still out. I sleep with the lights on now. But sometimes, when I close my eyes, even for a second, I feel the mattress tip. Like it's checking, waiting for me to pretend again. This story gave me chills. I don't think so I will be sleeping tonight with lights off. Because I'm scared now. And with that, we are on to the third and the very last story for today's video. I found this story from a website named Urban Epics, and it starts with, I bought the mirror because it was beautiful. Tall, vintage, dark, wooden frame carved with twisting patterns that almost looked like veins. The old man selling it wouldn't look at me. Don't face it towards your bed, he muttered. I thought he was being dramatic, and ignoring his words, I hung it directly across from where I sleep. That was my first mistake. The first night, nothing happened. The second night, I woke up at 3:12 a.m. I don't know why I remember the time, but I do. I was laying on my back, staring at the ceiling. Then I felt it, the feeling of being watched. I slowly turned my head towards the mirror. I could see myself in the dark, just barely. Still, then I blinked. But my reflection didn't. I kept staring, eyes open, unblinking. My heart started pounding. I blinked again, just to check. This time it blinked too. I told myself it was just the lightning, maybe. Just sleep, just imagination. I turned away. Over the next few days, small things felt wrong. Sometimes when I walked past the mirror, I felt like I was interrupting something. Like it was doing something before I arrived. Once I walked by quickly. I swore that I saw my reflection already looking over its shoulder at me before I had turned. That night, I covered the mirror with a blanket. At 3:12 a.m., I woke up again. Something was not right. The blanket was on the floor. I remember I covered the mirror before I go to bed. But now the mirror is uncovered. I live alone. I decided to test it. The next evening, I stood in front of it. I stared directly into my own eyes. Then I raised my hand. My reflection copied me. I lowered it. It copied. I leaned closer. So did it. Then I smiled. But this time, my reflection didn't. It just watched me, and very slowly it smiled back. Wider than I was. Too wide. I stepped back. It didn't. It stayed close to the glass, like it was standing closer than I was. Like it was closer to getting out. The room suddenly felt colder, the air heavier. Then my reflection lifted its hand, not to copy, but to knock. 3 soft taps from inside the mirror. I didn't move. I couldn't. It tilted its head, studying me, and then it whispered, not out loud, inside my head, switch. The light flickered. For 1 second, the room went dark. When the lights came back, my reflection was gone. The mirror was empty. No version of me, just my bedroom behind me. I slowly turned around, and that's when I saw it, standing behind me, smiling. They say mirrors are just glass, just reflection, but mine isn't. Sometimes when I walk past it, I see myself standing slightly closer to the surface than I am. And sometimes at 3:12 a.m. I wake up, but my reflection is already awake. Like it's just watching me sleep, waiting for me to look at it long enough just to switch. I don't stand in front of mirrors anymore. And if you ever notice your reflection move a second too late or a second too early, don't stare because it might be learning. Take lessons from this story, not to look into your mirror for too long. And remember to cover them. And if possible, don't face your mirror to where you sleep. If you're watching till the end, drop this emoji in the comment section. I would love to make more videos like this, but you have to support me for that. Like this video, share if you can, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. Thank you so much for sticking till the end. Much love. Bye.